Historic ruling and victory for the Trump administration, how the nation is reacting to the controversial travel ban decision. A group of teens who survived a school shooting bring their message to the Suncoast. Plus, why Sarasota may shut down a popular roadway entirely. Your Suncoast News starts now.
You're watching ABC 7 News at noon.
Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for joining us. First at noon today, a historic ruling by the U.S. Supreme Court. The High Court ruling President Trump's controversial travel ban on several Muslim-majority countries is legal. As ABC's Tara Palmieri reports, protests to the ruling are already underway.
The Supreme Court upheld the president's right to enact a travel ban by a narrow 5-4 decision. Writing for the majority opinion, Chief Justice John Roberts saying the president has the powers to regulate immigration.
Imagine, if you can, that Congress is unable to act when the president asks for legislation.
The president tweeting, Supreme Court upholds Trump travel ban. Wow. 5 of the countries named in the ban are Muslim majority, but the latest version of the ban also includes North Korea and Venezuela. The court ruled on the third iteration of the travel ban, which was issued in September 2016. At issue were the president's comments during the campaign.
Donald J. Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States.
Some calling the order unconstitutionally discriminatory. The administration argued that the bill isn't about religious discrimination, but rather the vetting procedures in the countries banned.
This is not a so-called Muslim ban. If it were, it would be the most ineffective Muslim ban that one could possibly imagine.
The ACLU put out a statement saying that this would go down in history as one of the Supreme Court's great failures. They say that they're relying too heavily on the national security excuse rather than the president's own comments. Tara Palmieri, ABC News, Washington.
For the next 2 days, school shooting survivors from Parkland, Florida will be holding rallies here on the Suncoast trying to get more young people to vote. The students from March for Our Lives are taking their appeal directly to voters. Since that big march in Washington, these students have been working to maintain the momentum from that. They are now in the middle of a month-long voter registration tour called Road to Change. Between now and August 1st, the goal is to visit all 27 of Florida's congressional districts.
We're trying to put their faith back in the government and say, hey, you can make this change, you can change the world. All you need to do is vote and have your voice heard.
Beside voter registration, the students are also focusing on gun control and candidates supported by the National Rifle Association. That voter registration drive is going on right now in Charlotte County at Latchley Park in Punta Gorda until 2 o'clock this afternoon. After that, there will be a town hall meeting at Punta Gorda United Congregational Church of Christ. That begins at 5:30. Tomorrow the tour will be in Sarasota at the Selby Public Library from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. Students, city officials, and organizers will be talking about gun laws. Organizers say the community will have a chance to register to vote at a tent before that live panel discussion. Well, tonight is the final community discussion about closing School Avenue 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Last month, the city approved the school board's request to close it when school is in session, and now the board is going to look at phase 2. ABC 7's Ray Collins is here now with a preview. Ray?
Scott, supporters say it's safer to have the road closed all the time, but some neighbors say it's overkill to shut the road always, 24/7. As you see here, the road cuts directly through the middle of the Sarasota High School campus. The school district says even when classes aren't in session, there is still plenty of activity going on there, whether it be football practice or band practice. Some residents in the nearby Alta Vista neighborhood say closing this full time is overkill. And here's the response from the school board.
But a lot of the residents do understand that we live in a different world. The time that we grew up in isn't today, and these kids live in a different world. And those who live in the Alta Vista neighborhood, they know that this campus is a 24/7 campus. They know that there's band practice. I mean, band practice, I think, in the summertime starts at like 7 o'clock in the morning.
Well, the district says a good compromise will be to add benches and shade around the perimeter of the campus where bikers and walkers would be directed. No word yet if that's good enough for opponents who don't want the road closed in the first place. Tonight's meeting starts at 6 p.m. in the high school cafeteria. Scott?
All right, Ray, thank you. As the 4th of July holiday approaches, law enforcement will be looking for impaired drivers both on and off land. This upcoming weekend marks the beginning of Operation Dry Water Weekend. The goal of the nationwide campaign is to prevent drunk boating. There will be an increased number of officers on local waterways from Friday through Sunday who will be looking for impaired drivers. The Sarasota Police Department is also reminding people going to the powerboat races this weekend to share the beach with our marine life and to stay clear of nesting birds and sea turtles. You can find a lot more information on the Powerboat Grand Prix, including important road closure information, on our website. Let's look for this story at mysuncoast.com. Let's get a check on our Tuesday weather now with meteorologist John Scalzi. And we had another round of those storms yesterday. Yes. Can we see some more today, do you think?
Yes, indeed. Yeah, I think we will. Yesterday we got a lot of 1-inch rains and 1.5-inch rains. Didn't see a lot of 3-inch rains like we did on Sunday. And today I think we'll see even less rain showers around, but the general pattern is the same. They'll build inland. They'll gradually drift to the coast. Difference today is that the wind flows a little bit lighter, so those showers will kind of interact with each other and meander around a bit. And so inland, I think you can get some pretty good rain. They'll be slow movers, basically. Looking at a lot of blue sky out there and temperatures responding to all the sunshine, boosting temperatures up pretty rapidly into the 80s. We are well on the way to seeing once again this afternoon temperatures that top out near 90. Now we're looking out at the clouds building and there will be a few showers, but right now radar is pretty quiet. We do have that one lone shower out in the Gulf waters, but it's been kind of patchy showers out there all morning long, and really they are not going to bother us. They'll tend to just sort of die out as the heating of the day starts to build the sea breeze circulation across the entire state. Along the Gulf waters, along the Atlantic waters, we've seen some pretty persistent showery activity, and that's all because of the deep moisture that's over the state, and that will lead again to those kind of widespread showers. There'll just be fewer of them as the focus, I think, will be more centered in the inland areas. A lot of sunshine helping to boost temperatures. We'll go with 92 for a high. Yesterday we had a 50% chance of rain. Today I'll go with about a 40% chance of rain, and maybe around drive time and thereafter about a 30% or so until we taper it all off by 9 or 10 o'clock and get rid of the last remaining showers or two. I think there'll be changes coming up over the next several days. We'll talk about that and talk about an area of disturbed weather that the Hurricane Center is watching in just a few minutes, Scott.
All right, John, thank you. New at noon, another big sporting event announcement for the Suncoast. This morning, Sanka announcing that U.S. Rowing will host the World Rowing Under-23 Championships at Sarasota County's Nathan Benderson Park in July of next year. Over 1,000 collegiate athletes will be participating. Organizers say this is a big deal. It will be the first time the event is held at a venue in the United States. Visit Sarasota County officials say hosting this event solidifies Sarasota's reputation as the home of international rowing in the United States. Catching a train ride from Tampa to Orlando may one day become a reality. Brightline, a privately run passenger rail service, is pursuing an Orlando to Tampa route. The CEO of the company calls the Tampa Bay market a natural extension for the service. The train currently runs between Miami and West Palm Beach and is expected to reach Orlando by 2021. On Friday, Governor Scott announced the State Department of Transportation has received a proposal to lease property owned by the Central Florida Expressway Authority to build a high-speed passenger train service right along Interstate 4. Also new at noon, Royal Caribbean is trying to attract younger passengers with shorter cruises. The cruise line investing $120 million in the Mariner of the Seas cruise ship. The 15-year-old ship arriving at its new home in Miami last week. It now offers 4-night weekday and 3-night weekend trips from Miami to the Bahamas. Besides restaurants and bars, other new attractions include a virtual reality bungee trampoline, a pair of racer water slides, a glow-in-the-dark laser tag room, a room escape challenge, and a surf simulator. Still to come in your Suncoast News, dangers of having a smart home you probably never considered. How some people are using the new technologies to harm others. And a rescue caught on camera what a Florida captain did when he spotted a boat engulfed in flames.
Me, pick me. Oh, come on, man. Oh, man, I love technology. Hey, yo, check out my new phone. Look at this right here. For years, the DeSoto Club has needed improvements. Join me and Boys and Girls Club of Manatee County as we raise money to build a brand new facility. It will be bigger and better, just like it was 40 years ago when I attended. Invest in kids, build great futures.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do it yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
My name is Stephen Jaffe. The law firm's name is Farmer Jaffe. One of the beautiful things about Julius is he's always smiling, and it becomes infectious. The fact that Julius has a disability has absolutely nothing to do with the quality of work that he's done. Just a great person you want on your staff.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Stay connected to your clients and new customers using ABC7 Digital Media Services. Our team of professionals provide a wide array of digital services to help you get the most out of your website. We specialize in building and helping you maintain the most effective digital solutions for your business. It's vital that your online presence stands out, so our experts will equip you with the best resources available. Trust ABC7 Digital Media Services to give you the right tools to grow your business. You now have the power to prioritize your Facebook feed and get local news and information from the team you trust. Go to the ABC7 Sarasota page on Facebook. Give us a like, then click following and choose See First. That's it. Customize even more by choosing notifications. Choose breaking news, posts, live videos, anything you want to see in real time. Take control of your newsfeed and stay connected to what's happening in your community with ABC7 on Facebook.
Here's something we bet you didn't know. Nearly half of all cancers can be prevented. That's right, half. Nearly 50%, mostly by making small everyday changes in your diet and controlling your weight, walking more, eating less, and eating foods that help you and your family to seriously reduce the risk of cancer. And of course, by not smoking. Visit the Cancer Prevention Together We Can website and get a free 30-day planner filled with tips, recipes, stats, and more about protecting your family. Go to prevent50.org.
Now your ABC7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So today's going to be a day very similar to yesterday. Our temperature about exactly the same where we were yesterday at this hour, 88 degrees. Dew point values at 74. Nice, humid, juicy air in place across the area. And we have a mix of sun and clouds out there. Feels like temperature is already close to 100 at 97. So again, another day to just take a little extra caution if you're going to be outdoors and engaged in strenuous exercise. Keep hydrated, take some breaks in the shade, that sort of thing. Wind coming out of the southwest at about 9. The sea breeze has started a little earlier today than we did over the last 24 hours, thanks to a lighter wind flow across the region. Generally, temperatures in the upper 80s most everywhere. We'll probably top it out today at about 92 degrees with a 40% chance of rain showers. Building inland, slowly propagating all over the place in kind of random motions, but focused in inland areas through the afternoon. As we get into the evening, a little bit of outflow could cause some of those showers to drift back to the coast with about a 30% chance of rainfall there. Quiet on radar right now, not looking at much happening. I don't think we'll probably see those showers begin to develop for another hour or 2 or 3. Satellite view showing it pretty quiet across the entire peninsula. We don't have any large-scale systems approaching, but we will start to see those cellular clouds building into thunderstorms as we head into the afternoon. So just a little to the north of us, the Hurricane Center is watching this area over land, non-tropical low, forecasted drift to the southeast, kind of merge with a trough of low pressure. And perhaps at that point, once it's just off the coast in the waters here, maybe gain some tropical characteristics. Only a 20% chance, though, over 5 days. It's not much, but it's just a reminder that we are in hurricane season and things can happen in unexpected ways pretty quickly. Even if it did develop, it would move away from the United States, so it's really of no consequence to us in terms of our forecast. The Futurecast here put into motion shows a few scattered showers building along that sea breeze front in inland areas. Some of the storms could be rather strong. There'll be a slow motion of these storms as they develop into interior sections, producing perhaps some very heavy rainfall. Motion will be strong, erratic, and focused mostly in inland areas east of the interstate. Then as we head into the evening hours, we might see some motion back toward Gulf waters as they dissipate out here over Gulf waters. That'll be the case today. Tomorrow, I think we may start with a little slightly different flow regime. Here's what's going on. We have this area of high pressure, and underneath of it, the winds are out of the east. That's driving those storms closer to us. Today, as opposed to yesterday, the winds are a little bit lighter, so that push to the west is a little bit less. Tomorrow, that high pressure ridge is going to start sinking a little bit further to the south. And as that happens, we'll see even a lighter wind flow and more random motion. We'll still have showers on our coastline, but fewer of them, I think. Sunny, warm, building afternoon showers, west-moving storms. By tomorrow, I think we'll start to develop a more easterly flow as that high continues to sink south, and we start to see flow around the top half of that high. Southwest wind for us through the afternoon, kind of light, coming in at about 5, maybe 5 to 10. And then as we look at the 7-day forecast, well, today about a 40% chance of rain with a high of 92. And over the next several days, we'll reduce that rain chance to about 30%. As we head into the weekend, I think we'll be able to up the rain chance to 50% or so, but the temperatures remain hovering around the 90-degree mark. Scott?
All right, John, thank you. In health news, for the first time, the FDA has given a cannabis-based drug its approval. The drug is called Epidiolex. It has been approved for treating 2 types of epileptic seizures. The twice-daily oral solution can be used in patients ages 2 and up. It's one of more than 80 active cannabinoid chemicals that, unlike THC, does not produce a high. The FDA has approved synthetic versions of cannabinoid chemicals found in the marijuana plant for other purposes, including cancer pain relief. There are new concerns now about smart home technologies like thermostats, locks, and lights that are all being used as tools of abuse. ABC's Ariel Reshef has some startling stories and a warning.
Everyday home objects are getting smarter by the minute. But now a New York Times investigation is sounding the alarm on a disturbing new trend. Smart tech being used to torment victims of domestic abuse.
My abuser's goal is to try to tear my mind apart bit by bit by bit and strip away my spirit, my livelihood.
This woman, who told us to refer to her as Martha, chose to speak about her alleged abuse from her ex-boyfriend under the condition of being shown in shadow. Her voice has also been altered.
The intellectual fatigue is so difficult to convey, not knowing which phone to check voicemail from, not knowing if my business accounts are private or not.
Stories like Martha's are not uncommon, according to Ruth Patrick, who runs a domestic violence program in Silicon Valley.
I had one lady whose smoke detectors had hidden cameras in them. Another lady had electronic locks on her door, and she was literally a prisoner in her own home.
They can use these devices now to harass the other individual, whether it's changing the temperature, if it's hot outside, making sure that the air conditioner is not working, or turning the lights on and off, or the TV, changing the channel.
To show how harassment like this can happen, digital forensic expert Brian Hill drove a few miles from his home and then tried to turn on the smart lights in his living room.
With the click of a button, turn the lights on, turn the lights off.
Hill, who has worked with victims of domestic abuse in the past, says there are simple steps you can take to protect yourself and your home.
Log into their accounts and reset their passwords. Logging into their wireless router and resetting that as well. And then manually resetting all of the devices.
Reporting one additional piece of advice from the forensic expert: resetting the security questions for devices. For example, one popular question is, what is your mother's maiden name? So instead of using your own mother, maybe use the maiden name of a friend or advocate that your abuser would not know instead. All right, let's head over to the kitchen now and say hello on this Tuesday to ABC 7 Culinary Director Judy Gallagher. Great to have you in the kitchen today, Judy.
Well, hi, Scott. And since we're kind of neighbors, I suppose you'll be smelling this aroma coming from my pool cage on July 4th. I love to celebrate the summer holidays. I'm a New Englander, and that was like a big deal to us. So we have traditions. You saw me cook for Memorial Day. For July 4th, it's all about the grilled sausages and peppers and sliders and stuffed hot dogs. So today, I'm going to teach you how to do an Italian-style stuffed slider that I think you'll enjoy with fresh basil and mozzarella and peppers. And we're going to serve that with a bright, fresh, organic tomato and basil salad. And we're also going to grill up some hot dog rolls with different cheeses and almost have the ultimate hot dog and slider bar for your guests. It's going to be a lot of fun and no stress today as we get ready to celebrate the big weekend of boats and then July 4th.
Get to Sunset Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat in Sarasota for big savings during the Chrysler Pacifica Incredible Sales Event. Get KBB's 2017 Best Buy Award overall winner, the Chrysler Pacifica, for just $23,999. Or save big and get the new Chrysler 300 Touring with an MSRP over $30,000 for just $21,999. That's a savings of over $8,000. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat in Sarasota today.
Coast Guard, we are taking on water.
The United States Coast Guard. They secure our ports and waterways, protect our environment, keep drugs away from our kids, and save lives. It's dangerous work. And in times of triumph or tragedy, the Coast Guard Foundation answers the call to support Coast Guard members and their families. Learn more at coastguardfoundation.org.
My name is Haley. I have Fragile X syndrome. I work with Chartwells at Einstein's and FAU. I like being up front and interacting with students. The students are very nice and very hungry. Having a job is a big ticket for independence.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
All hands on deck. What's up? I want to point out 3 tips for using the home computer more safely. Point away.
First, stop. Make sure your software is up to date and that you've password protected your computer's login and Wi-Fi connection.
Next, think before visiting a site, opening attachments, or clicking on links.
Then connect, knowing you're helping make the web safer for you
and for everyone. Make Stop, Think, Connect part of your daily online routine.
I witnessed him have 2 heart attacks in ICU. He went through seizures.
We'd much rather have Aaron like this than dead. A lot of parents don't have that luxury.
He can't talk. He can't walk. This is a condition Aaron will live with for the rest of his life because he abused prescription pills.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Find out first at 4 on the Suncoast with ABC 7 News at 4, premiering Monday, July 2nd. ABC 7 News at 4 starts with a detailed look at your first alert weather forecast to help you plan and prepare. We give you a fresh, fast-paced rundown of the day's top stories and videos, including breaking news, live updates, and traffic hotspots, all at a new, more convenient time. Find out first at 4, weekdays on ABC 7.
A day of fishing for a family vacationing in South Florida turned into a rescue operation. Together with the captain and crew of their charter boat, they pulled 6 people off a boat just moments before it burst into flames. Vanessa Medina has video of the rescue.
It was a great morning for the Barringer family. Visiting South Florida from Connecticut, they were out charter fishing on Lady Pamela II.
We were just out fishing for a charter and we heard fire.
About a mile offshore, another charter boat, New Latitude from fishing headquarters, caught fire.
And I seen smoke coming out of the vents and I seen the guy scurrying around. I looked down at my mate and I said, I think the boat's on fire. By the time I picked up the outriggers to go get him, the boat was completely engulfed in fire, all the way up to the fly bridge, and all the people were out on the bow. So I just spun around and came up alongside the boat. It went from smoke to fire within 3 to 4 minutes. I'm telling you, it was ridiculous.
Rushing to get everyone off as soon as possible, one man almost went overboard.
Well, the way that everything with the wakes and the rocking of the boats, they hit each other and he slipped. But he caught himself, thank God.
Come on, boys! Let's go! She's going!
we were yelling, did anybody call the Coast Guard? And, you know, the Coast Guard was coming on its way, and it just went and engulfed in flames.
On the rail right here? Can I get everybody off? Rail right here, yes, everybody's off.
Rescuing all 6 people on board.
Oh my God, they wanted to kiss me, but I wouldn't let them.
They were happy, grateful, lots of thank yous from them, including the captain and the crew of the New Latitude. So it was, you know, Lady Pamela, we just had to help out and do our job. It's not a bad day. And we also caught fish.
The fire started in the engine area of that boat. Crews are now working with a salvage company to figure out what to do with the damaged vessel. All right, let's get back to the kitchen and check in on Judy Gallagher, who's fixing a holiday treat for us all today.
That's right. I like to keep it simple, and I'm all about the big gatherings and having fun. So making sliders is kind of my tradition. If I'm going, say, to like a Springsteen concert, we bring out the grills, we get all ready. We even make the sliders at home, wrap them in aluminum foil, and we have it done. So you can actually buy slider buns, and Scott and I were just talking about sometimes a big burger is just too much with the big bun. But nowadays you can use the Hawaiian rolls, or Whole Foods makes their own little slider buns. Now I also want to talk about hot dog rolls, because I love the brioche, which is that buttery French taste. So what I've done is I've taken a hot dog roll and I filled that with sliced mozzarella cheese. Now I'm going to do one with some shredded Mexican cheese, and we're going to just stick this all on this griddle. I've got to show you what I think are the world's second best hot dogs, and that's the Wonder Wieners, and I get them over at Yoder's Produce Market in the refrigerator case. I say second because Pearl hot dogs are my favorite, but you usually have to order those online, and it can get very expensive with shipping. So if anybody's going to Boston, you can stop by and pick me some and bring them back. I have some fennel and some red pepper that's sauteing. You know, I do get messages from viewers, and I hear you. Some people just don't like onions. I love them. So I'm going to make this dish today without the traditional onions for the sausage and peppers. But let's talk about sliders, okay, for right now. I'm going to add some diced pepper into the ground beef. And, you know, watch the sales, because usually about once a week somebody's having a sale on fresh ground beef. So that's the way to go. I have Parmesan cheese. I'm going to season it with garlic salt, salt and pepper. And then you can be really creative whether you want to stuff mozzarella cheese in there or anything else. But I usually make my hamburger mixture, cover it, mix it all up, put it in the refrigerator at least for 6 hours, if not overnight. Then I get back to cooking it. So now we have to talk about corn on the cob. There's so many ways you can do corn on the cob. I just stuck it on the griddle pan. We're going to rub it in butter and a little Parmesan cheese, because most of our theme today is really an Italian style. When we come back, we're going to stuff the sliders with some cheese, top them with some Genoa salami, serve it with a arugula salad, and we have the ultimate slider, hot dog, and sausage bar that's going to be going on for the whole holiday.
A promise was made, a promise that hit the beaches of Normandy, a vow that captured Iwo Jima, a contract that weathered Tet, a pledge that stormed the desert in Iraq, an IOU that braved IEDs in Kandahar. A promise was made to America's veterans. DAV fights to keep that promise, so all veterans and their families get the benefits and support they earned. For help, visit DAV.org.
My name is Luke Perry, and I am 1 million strong. I'm in the fight against colorectal cancer because I believe we can win it. Colon and rectal cancers are the second leading cause of cancer deaths among men and women in the U.S. Colon cancer is preventable. Know the risk factors and make sure to get screened. There are simple, take-home options available. Take control of your health. Screening for colon cancer isn't embarrassing. It can be life-saving. To find out more about your options, visit fightcrc.org.
My name is Julius. I have cerebral palsy. I work for Farmer Jeffy Weising Law Firm. I do a lot of data entry and scanning documents. I want to increase my working experience to make the company much better. At the end of the day, it's good to think of the day's work and to think about what I have accomplished.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Selfless service is the principle that guides Army National Guard soldiers to be ready whenever disaster strikes. They have a stake in the well-being of the neighborhoods where they live and work. They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times. Selfless service. It's what inspires the men and women of the Army National Guard to be part of something greater than themselves. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more.
Everything all right?
Actually, you know how Tom had knee surgery?
Sure.
We found out Brad's been taking his painkillers. And it turns out he's been doing it for a while.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
There was this big bruise on my friend's face. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to think her own nephew could have hit her.
I didn't want to see it. My mother's bank account was emptied, and a caregiver had taken control of it.
I didn't want to see it. My father's refrigerator. There was hardly anything in it. That's unusual for him.
It's tough to see that a senior citizen is being abused, physically, emotionally, sexually, or financially. Elder abuse is a crime.
So see the signs. Stop the crimes.
Coming up, a young father camping with his two daughters in Southern California is shot to death in the middle of the night. Police now searching for his killer. Plus, violent storms produce a tornado in Kentucky. How far the twister carried the roof of a home. And two former presidents get together for a visit, but it's a dog that's getting all of the attention.
You're watching ABC 7 News at 12:30.
Welcome back. New details today on a fire and deadly shooting at a Southern California retirement home. Police say 77-year-old Thomas Kim set the fire at the facility yesterday, and then when firefighters arrived to help him, opened fire. Police say Kim shot 3 people, including Fire Captain Dave Rosa, who did not survive. The 45-year-old father of 2 had been with the Long Beach Fire Department for 17 years. Another firefighter who was also shot is expected to make a full recovery. Kim has been charged now with murder, arson, and 2 counts of attempted murder. Now to a camping murder mystery in California. A 35-year-old father camping with his 2 little girls was shot to death inside his tent. Investigators are now looking into multiple unsolved shootings reported in the area of the campgrounds. ABC's Maggie Rulli has the latest.
A popular Malibu State Park remains shut down as investigators hunt for a killer. Police arriving on the scene just after 5 a.m. Friday morning to find 35-year-old Tristan Bodette shot in the chest in his camping tent. His 2 little girls, ages 4 and 2, sleeping right next to him.
There's nothing you can describe that losing a family member like that, particularly a family man.
The girls were not hurt. Bodette, a well-known scientist, took his daughters camping so their mom could stay home and study for a big test. Choosing the park in Calabasas, a place known for its beauty and location, with celebrities like Justin Bieber and the Kardashians living nearby.
I was a little shocked, sad that something like that would happen in such a beautiful place.
Now authorities are desperate for answers.
We don't have any current suspect information, nor do we have any motive at this time.
As they search the 8,000-acre park for clues, troubling stories are emerging. Melissa Tatangelo says last year she was sleeping in her car when someone shot at her.
My boyfriend walked around and he was like, that's a bullet hole.
My gut feeling is somebody local, somebody walking into the woods 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, takes a shot and heads out.
As for this other shooting, LA Sheriff's homicide detectives say they are aware, but so far there's no evidence that the 2 are connected. In the meantime, the campground will remain closed through Thursday as police investigate. Maggie Rulli, ABC News, New York.
Investigators are confirming a 14-year-old Boy Scout was killed after a tree fell on his tent at a campsite in Georgia. The incident happening as severe storms moved through the area yesterday afternoon at Burt Adams Scout Camp. Investigators say the victim was one of a dozen Boy Scouts visiting the camp from all over the southeast region for a week-long Summer Scout Jamboree.
Trees were felled by the wind. A tree unfortunately did fall on one of the campers, and the camper is deceased. There was severe blunt force trauma to his head and chest. I can't even imagine what the scout leader and the rest of the troop is going through at this point, not, let alone the parents who are that far away from their child. I mean, I wouldn't even be able to put that into words.
Sheriff's Office says nearly 60 trees toppled down as heavy wind and rain swept through that area. A quick-moving storm left behind some major damage in Kentucky. A tornado touching down there yesterday. The twister uprooting trees, snapped others in half, and it also ripped the roof off of a house. The homeowner says he built that house in 1986. He didn't know the extent of the damage until he stepped outside.
The roof started ripping, and I didn't know nothing until I looked out and into my garage where my car's parked, and I could see there was no roof on it. And I come out and looked it over, and then all the roof was gone on the front of my house.
That roof was found at least a mile away from the home. That's the power of a tornado. Meteorologist John Scalzi joins us now, and we've had our storms around here, a lot of lightning, but nothing that bad.
Yeah, I think that's probably the scariest meteorological thing for me, are the tornadoes. Yeah, so little time to get it together, you know. For a hurricane, at least you have time, you know. Thunderstorms you can hear coming, usually, but tornadoes are scary.
Yeah.
We have across our region very little chance of severe weather today, however, but we will see thunderstorms around. We will see lightning pops. Casey Key webcam put into motion shows a nice, beautiful blue sky to start off the morning with a few fair weather clouds building. You also see some clouds out in the Gulf waters by about 3-4 miles out there. None of them making it on shore. They're kind of persistent out there all morning long. You can see them on radar still, but they'll be in the process of dying out as we develop a sea breeze circulation. Lots of moisture to work with, as visible on radar right there, and satellite showing, you know, the large scale cloud cover our way, no frontal boundaries or anything like that. Everything we get today will be driven by sea breeze circulations, by daytime heating, and by all the moisture that we have across the region. Day planner will show a daytime high temperature of about 92. Similar to yesterday, we'll have about a 40% chance of showers. They'll be building inland initially and then kind of falling apart as we head through the evening hours and they gradually drift closer to the coastline. I think our coverage of showers today, less than it was yesterday, but still, everybody gets a chance at some of the rain. We'll talk about the forecasts for the days ahead, take a look at the red tide update, and update you on what to expect this weekend as well, coming up in just a minute.
John, thank you. We are continuing to monitor a developing story in Washington, the U.S. Supreme Court upholding President Trump's ban on travel from multiple Muslim-majority countries. The High Court rejecting a challenge that it discriminated against Muslims or exceeded the president's authority. The 5-4 decision late this morning is the court's first substantial ruling on a Trump administrative policy. A bill that would restore health coverage for thousands of veterans who were possibly exposed to the toxic chemical Agent Orange is now moving forward in Washington. The U.S. House approving the bill, which is co-sponsored by Suncoast Congressman Vern Buchanan. The measure would provide VA health benefits for 90,000 Navy veterans who served on ships and ports off the coast of Vietnam during the war. Those veterans were eligible to receive benefits under the Agent Orange Act of 1991, but their eligibility was discontinued in 2002 by the Department of Veterans Affairs. A companion bill has been introduced in the Senate. Former President George H.W. Bush visiting with former President Bill Clinton yesterday, but they were not the stars of their social media post. Bush 41's new service dog getting all of the attention. Sully is a yellow lab retriever given to the former president by a nonprofit, America's Vet Dogs. Sully already knows how to answer the phone and fetch items. He was named after the airline pilot who landed a damaged plane in the Hudson River, Chelsea Sullenberger, saving the lives of everyone on board 9 years ago. Sully's social media fame will likely take off as his Instagram page launched Monday with its first photo. All right, let's get back to the kitchen and check in again on lunch with Culinary Director Judy Gallagher. Judy?
Scott, think you're going to be a happy man. So I've got the first sliders coming off the grill. Now what I've done is I've just sprinkled them with a little garlic salt and black pepper. They have a little pepper inside them, remember, in the Parmesan cheese that we already did and seasoned. Then what we do is once we turn them over, is you're going to do some sliced mozzarella, because that's going to really help to melt pretty quickly. And then we're going to put a little Genoa salami on top, because we can. We already have those grilled giant hot dogs that are going with shredded Mexican cheese or Colby. Now, what's really fun, and we talked about doing a little slider bar, is this. As we start to get the sliders going and off the grill, think about what you can serve with them. A little pesto. You can even add mayonnaise to the pesto, and you have the pesto aioli. Roasted red peppers, beautiful topping. And basically, since they're marinated in the jar, all you have to do is pull one out, and you can just lay little strips on them. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some fresh organic tomatoes, basil from the garden, and for some reason my basil is still growing, which is a good sign in the cage, in the pool cage. So that's going to go in the middle. And the last thing I'm going to do for the Italian ones is take a little balsamic drizzle, and we'll put that on there like that. And I'll keep grilling those. The sausage and peppers have come off the grill, and you can serve that with a bright mustard that you've taken a little Parmesan cheese and put into. And of course, the last thing is the corn. The corn has been rolled in a little melted butter, salt and pepper, and then Parmesan cheese. I just want to use the things that I already have, but obviously you can use the Mexican cheese to make it Mexican street corn, all sorts of varieties. So again, we'll take that slider off. This is something you can do. You can even do this with like turkey burgers or salmon burgers. It's just so easy and fun, but it's really, the kids are going to enjoy just seeing different toppings just besides mustard and ketchup. So again, this just becomes an interactive part of everybody's meal where they get to use different ingredients. Like I might want sausage and peppers on my hot dog. We can do it. So we have that. Now I'm just going to take some fresh arugula, toss it with fresh lemon, keep that nice and bright, a splash of a good quality olive oil and balsamic, and that becomes another side as well. For me, I'm going to put it on top of my slider, but you can always have it on the side. I'll be back in just a few minutes and we'll get the first taste of the day.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do it yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
If you don't want to fall immediately into love, look away. If you don't want to awaken a desire for excellence, look away. If you don't want to be seduced, please look away.
Rediscover your passion for driving at Sunset Maserati Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Florida Studio Theater presents Always Patsy Cline, extended due to popular demand. A tuneful tribute, the story of Patsy's rise to stardom is told by her biggest fan. Featuring such hit songs as Walkin' After Midnight, I Fall to Pieces, Crazy, and many more you know and love. Critics are calling Always Patsy Cline a genuine hit. Audiences are calling it outstanding. Always Patsy Cline is now playing. Tickets can be purchased at 941-366-9000 or floridastudiotheater.org.
I am the resident district manager on the FAU campus for Chartwell. Whenever I see Haley, I do not see a person with a disability. I see a person with extraordinary abilities. Haley is always smiling. She's always on time. She gives fantastic customer service and is always focused on any job that she's given.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Thank you. You got a king?
fish.
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard serve to give back to their country and communities. Their part-time commitment qualifies them for an array of benefits, such as affordable health and life insurance benefits, education benefits, including tuition assistance, student loan repayment and GI Bill programs, a retirement plan based on part-time service, and VA home mortgages. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about all the benefits available in the Army National Guard.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
88 degrees the air temperature. We have a dew point of 74. That gives us a feels-like temperature at this hour of 97 degrees. So again, another warm, sticky afternoon as we're becoming accustomed to during these summer months already. Temperatures across the region are fairly uniform. We still have this easterly wind flow, although we're starting to develop a sea breeze earlier on right along the immediate coastline. That's taken down the temperature at Longboat Key to 85 degrees. As we progress through the daytime, we'll see a daytime high of about 92. And we'll see showers starting to build as early as 3 p.m., I think in inland areas particularly. The character of the showers today are going to be similar to what they were yesterday in terms of a general drift from inland areas toward the coast. But there'll be a slower motion and there'll be more erratic motion, particularly in inland areas. As we head into the 7 p.m. hour, we'll have about a 30% chances of a few of those showers making their way back to the coastline as they begin to die out. And then a pretty quiet overnight. Quiet right now on radar. Not seeing a whole lot of activity here. We're seeing the beginnings of a few showers over on the other coast. And we're seeing the showers that have been kind of persistent out here in the Gulf waters beginning to die out a little bit as we begin this sea breeze circulation. A little bit of cloud cover from time to time popping up to the north of us, particularly old boundaries there. And we have, generally speaking, again today, this kind of easterly wind flow. It's lighter today than it was yesterday. And that's one of the reasons that things will be a little more erratic in inland areas as outflow boundaries from different storms interact with each other and talk with each other and start to build storms in kind of a random fashion. The storms will generally start to die out and move toward the coastline as we head through the evening. Tomorrow, high pressure sinks south. The winds become even lighter. And again, the motion, I think, is going to focus more toward the other coast. And certainly by the day after, we will have developed a more westerly wind flow, kind of similar to what we saw last week, as high pressure begins to build to the south. And we develop that kind of pattern where you get the morning showers near the coast, followed by basically inland showers in the afternoon. But for today, sunny and warm, building afternoon showers inland, followed by these west-moving storms that tend to die out as they get closer to the coastline. Red tide status, well, it's still around, but the latest Mote Marine observations do indicate that the irritants in the air are focusing today, anyway, to the south. And some of the places, such as Venice, that had intense amounts of respiratory irritants in the air are decreasing in intensity. And now it's just a slight value that's around for a lot of our beaches. Down to the South Gasparilla, still intense with some pretty heavy fish kill going on down there. So we'll continue to watch for that. Beach and boating forecast calls for southwest wind at about 5 knots throughout the afternoon. That'll bring you a light chop, 2-foot seas. Nice day on the water. Not a whole lot of activity out there. We'll look for 92 for the high today. Tomorrow is still warm. Same thing on Thursday. But the winds starting to become a little bit more westerly as we head into Wednesday and particularly Thursday. That means morning showers near the coast, inland showers in the afternoon, leaving most of the coastline without those cooling rainfalls during time of maximum heating. Friday, the same sort of situation. Saturday and Sunday, I think we'll up the rain chances just a little bit to about 50% and keep the temperatures about 90. Scott?
All right, John, thank you. This may sound familiar. Wells Fargo Bank is facing a penalty for reportedly scamming its clients again. This time, the Security and Exchange Commission says the bank took advantage of its brokerage clients holding market-linked investments. That's a type of bond meant to be held until maturity. But SEC officials say the bank improperly pushed clients to sell early so it could rack up extra fees. Wells Fargo could now face a $4 million fine, plus returning all profits in that category. Uber is fighting to keep its cars rolling in London. The ride-sharing company is facing a key court decision today. Uber is suing to overturn a decision that stripped it of its license to operate in the British capital. London officials pointed to Uber's failure to report serious crimes or run background checks on drivers. The company says that's all been fixed. This fall, travelers will have more flight options at Tampa International Airport. Today, Sun Country Airlines announcing it will launch 3 new routes out of Tampa. Starting September 29th, the airline will provide service to Dane County Regional Airport in Madison, Wisconsin. The airline also plans to launch seasonal service to Dallas-Fort Worth Airport on October 5th and service to St. Louis Lambert International starting November 1st. Still to come in your Suncoast News, firefighters to the rescue, how they saved the day, and a birthday party. We'll show you right after this.
Get more for your money at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Subaru vehicles hold their value better than any other brand for 2018, according to ALG. And Subaru is Kelley Blue Book's most trusted brand for 4 years running. The Subaru Outback is an IIHS top safety pick for 10 years running. Lease a new Subaru Outback today for just $249 a month. Or get 0% financing with 0 down. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Planning a Carnival Fantasy Cruise out of Mobile? Then check out the park and cruise packages at the luxurious Battle House and Renaissance Riverview Plaza hotels. Stay at the Battle House for $169 per night, or the Riverview Plaza for just $149 per night, and leave your car for the duration of your cruise. Includes transportation to and from the cruise terminal. If you're cruising out of Mobile, come stay with us. Call 1-800-MARRIOTT or visit Marriott.com now.
Ever since I can remember, I've been intrigued by industrial design and the optimization.
Wait, that's passion? Ever since I can remember, my passion has been industrial design. We need 3D printers for Miss Adams' engineering program so that we are ready to solve 21st century challenges.
Impressive. Think It Up is a new initiative to support student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classroom today? Think It Up.
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. You're gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Okay, quick. Oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. We're getting so wet.
We've all heard how military veterans adjusting to the civilian world may have certain issues.
30. 70.
If only everyone had this issue. No matter what challenge they face, Easter Seals is here for America's veterans.
We answered the call of duty and left our homes to serve in far-off lands. Now, we answer another call, this time at home, in our own communities, to respond in times of chaos, to use our strength, our skills, and our experiences to bring hope amid devastation and destruction. Together, as a team of brothers and sisters, we're continuing our mission to make this country a little stronger and a little better each day. We are Team Rubicon.
To tell you about.
We are up. Hi, Judy.
I'm sorry.
Who knew?
We were joking. I just found out my book is coming out at the publisher in the end of July.
I am so excited. I can't wait.
Don't have a copy either. No, I don't have a copy yet either.
Can't wait. It's going to be exciting.
We'll have more news. But
speaking of exciting, this this is very tasty.
Good. You know what? Have fun in the holidays. You don't have to spend all day marinating and grilling, but just put out a spread, let everybody have a sample, and you'll be ready to go. And maybe a few of these recipes might be in the book. But
This is delicious.
Thank you.
Are we going to have like a book party? We should have a book opening
We are
party?
going to have.
You're going to do a signing?
I'm going to do several signings. Margaret Wise, when she returns this summer, will be leading at the end of the summer, leading that. But I will be at Barnes & Noble and Bookstore One and all over the area and kind of national exposure. I'm really excited. Reflections and recipes.
We have been waiting, so this will be exciting. Absolutely fantastic recipe on our website, mysuncoast.com. Check it out. It is delicious. Thanks, Judy.
Thank you.
Scott?
Thanks, guys.
We had the coach say, get out of the water. I just heard him yell, get in the tub. Get in the tub.
Go! We need to go right now.
I mean, this literally could be the start of a nuclear war.
This is not a...
That's just part of a trailer released today for a new documentary that's in the works on Hawaii's false missile alert that happened last January. It's called This Is Not a Drill, 38 minutes that changed our lives. The executive producer says he hopes to finish the film by this fall, and he wants to get it into the film festival circuit. Showtime is producing a new miniseries on the life of former Fox News leader Roger Ailes. It will star Russell Crowe. The series will focus on Ailes' rise and fall at Fox News through multiple points of view. He's credited with leading the 24-hour cable news channel to success in establishing Donald Trump as a credible political figure. Ailes resigned from Fox News in 2016 amid sexual harassment allegations and then died the following year at 77 years old. Well, arise, Sir Barry. Barry Gibb, the sole remaining member of the 70s disco legends, the Bee Gees, was knighted at Buckingham Palace today. The 71-year-old musician was handed the honor by Prince Charles at a ceremony in London. 2017 marked the 50th anniversary of the band's first international hit and the 40th anniversary of the film Saturday Night Fever. Gibbs' fellow Bee Gees, brothers Maurice and Robin, died in 2003 and 2012, respectively. Firefighters often risk their lives to help others, but sometimes they just respond to stress-free calls. Like on Sunday, a group of North Carolina firefighters stopped by a house in Charlotte where they saw a family struggling to fill a kiddie swimming pool for a birthday party. So the crew provided the water on a sweltering day. Isn't that nice?
How sweet.
That's
how
awesome.
it should be. I love it. I love that story.
Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you again at 5 o'clock.